New York's first tornado of 2017 has arrived, and it didn't hurt anybody. The storm made headlines last week after it touched down in the town of Wappingers, about 6 miles south of the Mid-Hudson Bridge. According to the National Weather Service, the tornado touched down around 7:14 p.m. on Wednesday, May 31st. Estimated sustained winds with this storm were about 100 miles an hour. The tornado was about 4 football fields wide, and it carved a path just over a mile long. And as I said, no one was injured, no deaths occurred. However, there were a bunch of trees that were snapped and uprooted, and the roof was actually lifted off a shed over there in town of Wappingers. Now, when the tornado formed, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god!" And at least one media outlet was quick to point out, "Look, a rare severe supercell." And now don't get me wrong, tornadoes in New York State are not an everyday occurrence, but they're probably not as rare as you might think. Over the past 2 decades, New York State has averaged around 10 tornadoes per year. July is far and away the most tornado-prone month. However, they can really happen anytime between April and November. Now, within New York, the Hudson Valley comprises one of New York State's 3 primary tornado formation zones. And since 1950, 23 tornadoes have been recorded in Ulster and Dutchess counties. Now, this averages out to about 1 tornado every 3 years. And while most of these local and state tornadoes are fairly weak, we've definitely had some pretty strong storms. If we go back to 2014 up near Albany, a tornado with 140 mile an hour winds touched down. So yeah, New York's got a little bit of a tornado prevalence. Now, in my opinion, what made last week's tornado particularly interesting was the potential impact that it could have had. This is an aspect that's been really overlooked by every piece of media that I've come across on this tornado. But yeah, so we have our tornado with 100 mile an hour winds, and turns out that it touched down exactly 1 mile away from Kinnery Elementary School. Kinnery is a school in the Wappingers School District that serves about 350 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Now, when the tornado formed, school students had been dismissed about 3 hours prior, so likely the school was empty for the most part. But at the same time, you've got a tornado touching down just a mile away from an elementary school on a school day. Not good. Again, the school is probably empty for the most part. However, that wasn't the case at Roy C. Ketchum High School. So we have Kinnery, the tornado, and then 3 miles down the road is Roy C. Ketchum High School. Now, when the tornado formed, they were about 15 minutes into their spring chorus concert. So, needless to say, probably a good amount of people at Roy C. Ketchum just 3 miles away from this tornado. And then on the flip side, have the tornado formed just 3 miles to the north, that would have put it through the Vassar College campus and the city of Poughkeepsie. So, in either of these cases, it really isn't difficult to imagine what it could have looked like had the tornado gone through any of these campuses. Mainly because we have footage, not of this tornado, but exactly 1 week prior down in North Carolina, a tornado of very similar magnitude struck an elementary school while students and teachers were inside. Now, this tornado was caught on film by security cameras down in Yadkinville, North Carolina. Fortunately, no one was injured, no one was hurt, but it did rip the roof off of the school gym, and the rest of the school was closed for 2 days while everyone cleaned up. But North Carolina's tornado doesn't even compare to the worst case scenario. If we go back to 1989 here in New York State, we have the Coldenham disaster, in which a tornado formed, struck an elementary school in the middle of a school day, collapsed a wall, and killed 9 children. This actually happened in the town of Newburgh, New York, which is just 15 miles down the river from last week's tornado. Now, on official records, this still ranks as one of the top 10 most deadly school tornado events in American history. It also ranks as the most deadly tornado in New York State history. Now, meteorologists still to this day debate whether or not the Coldenham disaster was actually a tornado or if it was just a severe thunderstorm. And whatever the true form of this event was, it really only underscores the main point of this video. And that is that it doesn't take a tornado to cause severe impacts. Heavy rain, heavy winds, hail, thunderstorms, all of them have the potential to cause death and destruction individually. So what do you do about that? Right? You're watching this, what do you do about that? Well, honestly, the most important thing that you can do is just be aware of what's going on where you are. That is why I highly recommend that everyone install a weather warning app on their phone. There's a lot of different ones out there. And basically what these do is they forward weather watches and warnings from the National Weather Service to your mobile device and email, so you can be alert as to what's going on. The one that I use is weatherusa.net. It works on this kind of cell phone, and it works on this kind of cell phone. And basically, you log in, make a free account, give them your email address if you want emails, give them your cell phone if you want text messages, and they send you a brief text statement that says, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your county until this time. And then there's a link for more information if you want more detailed information. Basically, it's great. Yeah, just know what's going on in your neck of the woods. That's all I've got. Stay safe, make good choices, don't jump in front of lightning bolts, because that's bad, and you won't enjoy it, probably. I've never gotten struck by a lightning bolt. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, I'm out.